Alright. When we use the word reinvent yourself, what comes to a lot of people's minds is an adjustment in your outward appearance, or a complete change altogether. Say maybe in your looks, the way you do your hair, the clothes you wear, when really that's just a fraction of it. What it really is a change in your perspective, a change in your mindset, the way you think about things, the way you view things, the way you see situations. And that can in turn reflect in your outward appearance. For instance, let me give you an example. Say if you're, from a woman's point of view, if you're a woman and you believe that to look more attractive to men and everything, you have to dress more sexy, you have to be extra all the way. Longer hair, longer nails, long lashes, this, that. Do you understand? And that will make you more attractive to men. That mindset will reflect in your outward appearance, correct? If on the flip side, you also believe that you can be yourself and move to the beat of your own drum and dress the way you feel for the day, and then you believe that whoever will be attracted to you will meet you at that same level, that will in turn reflect in your outward appearance as well, isn't it? Perception is reality, and that starts with you. It's not fair. Well, life is not fair. It's not good enough to say to people, don't do these bad things without really giving them the consequences to it. For instance, it's not good enough to say to people, don't smoke, don't drink, don't tell lies, don't steal, don't do this, don't do that. Do you understand? And then you're not really giving them the consequences to it, to their actions, because those consequences is what really makes people change, is what makes people reinvent themselves. For instance, if you say to somebody, well, if you steal or you kill, you're going to go to jail and spend the rest of your life in jail. Highly likely they'll be more mindful. If you say to somebody, if you smoke, you're likely to get lung cancer. If it's incurable, you're going to die. If you say to somebody, if you drink, it's going to affect your liver and it would become a major disease and you could lose your life. So if you give people, I mean, that's harsh, I know, but you know, at the end of the day, it's the consequences you give to people that actually makes them change their lives around, that makes them turn their lives around, that makes them reinvent themselves. If all you're saying to them is that if you do this bad thing, then you're going to sin and go to hell, a lot of people are thinking, well, what's so bad about that? When I'm going to hell, I'm already dead, so I don't really know about it, right? Do you understand? So it is not really good enough to give people all those rules, because the truth is that these behavioral patterns are sometimes very difficult to drop. Very, very difficult. It's difficult to tell somebody that has lied their way through life, to tell them, oh, stop lying, because otherwise it will make you a sinner. And they're thinking, other sinners are having fun. What's wrong with that? Do you understand? It's not, if you say to somebody, it's difficult to say to somebody that is a smoker to just stop smoking. You see a lot of people wear nicotine patches for months, even years sometimes, trying to give up smoking. If you say to somebody that drinks, I mean, for some people that drink is like an escape mechanism. Do you understand? It's difficult for them to stop, but when you tell them the consequences, then they get more mindful. Let me give you a good example. For instance, let's say a man cheats, or a man is cheating. Just making an example, it could be man or woman or whatever. Do you understand? A man is cheating and his partner finds out and his partner confronts him. Now, the go-to thing to do is tell lies, right? It's just to tell a lie and say, oh no, that wasn't me. Oh no, I didn't do it. That's the go-to thing. Now, when he does that, obviously, he's able to get out of that situation easily. Now, on the flip side, what he could do is actually admit it. What if he admits it and says, and admits to his wrongdoing and says, look, I'm really sorry. Yes, I did this, and I promise you it will never happen again. It happened because so and so. I realize, I understand that as I've hurt your feelings. I really want to regain your trust. Look, what would happen in that situation is highly likely that man is not going to go back to that behavior. I'm not saying it will never happen. All I'm saying is, you see, because when he does admit to his wrongdoing, what happens is that he's he stands a risk of losing his partner altogether, losing that relationship, losing credibility, experiencing shame, experiencing all sorts of things. Do you understand? So he stands that risk if he admits it. Now, if he does go ahead to admit it, what would happen is highly likely he's never going to go back to that behavior again, because he's going to be too busy working his way to earning his partner's trust again. Does that make any sense? So sometimes consequences, owning up to things, is the reason why people don't repeat the same mistakes. See, I like to use myself as an example, right? At a time in my life, right, about a couple of years ago, about 3 years ago, whatever it is, I had certain people in my life, certain friends, that felt like they were going to air my dirty laundry, right? Talk about everything, my secrets. Talk about my life, my secret. Now, what they did in turn was take a bit of truth, mix it with lies, put some icing on it, put some ice cream on it, put some sprinklers on it, all sorts. Mixed it with a bit of fantasy, a bit of horror, a bit of adventure, rolled it up into one, and felt like they were going to, and started to tell people about it. Why? Because they felt like they were going to shame me, they were going to humble me, they were going to, whatever it is the plan was, right? And when I heard it, rather than deny it or debunk it or whatever it is, I owned up to it. The truth, the lies, the good, bad, the ugly. I owned up to everything. Why did I do that? Because in all that story, there's an iota of truth. Like, for instance, if somebody had said, oh, that one, she's just a party girl. Oh, she's always partying, always drinking, always having fun, always doing this. Now, the reason why they would have said that is because maybe once or twice we did go out together and we did party and we did have drinks and whatever it is, you understand? So it's happened before, and that's the truth. One thing I've realized in life is you don't get a lot of chances to prove yourself to people. Sometimes you only get one chance, you understand? And if in that one chance I'd given off the perception that I'm a party girl, then that's what they believe. So rather than hold a grudge against the people talking, what I did was I just owned up to it. Some lies, some good, some bad, some ugly. I owned up to everything. And what that afforded me was a complete turnaround in my life. I was able to change things around because in that moment, I realized one thing, that they will never get the opportunity to say that about me again. And that was a turning point in my life. I turned everything around. Now, what I have started to do henceforth is be extremely mindful, extremely careful about the decisions I make, the company I keep, the things I do. Do you understand? Every step I take is well thought out. I'm very, very careful. I think about everything. I think about every step I make. I was able to reinvent myself. I was able to change things around. I was able to change my life. Do you understand? Do away with bad behaviors, because I don't ever want a situation where somebody will turn around and say, oh, that person is this, that person is that, that person is that. Does that make any sense? So most of the time, reinventing yourself isn't just about changing your outward appearance. I mean, at the end of the day, that had an effect in my outward appearance. It made me want to be more of myself, because the truth is, if you look at drinking, for instance, I used to drink. The truth is, I've always talked about drinking, and there's nothing wrong with having a drink with friends and everything, but I hate alcohol. And that's the God's honest truth. But the only reason why I indulge is because my go-to behavior naturally is I'm extremely aware. I'm very aware of everything. So I can be having a conversation with somebody. I'm aware of every flicker of your eyelids. I'm aware of the way I'm aware of everything. I am tasting your words. I'm listening to your words. And to be honest, that's not really fun to be around, right? Do you understand? So I would indulge in a drink or two just so that I'm more relaxed, I'm more fun, I'm more happy, I'm more bubbly, I'm less aware. Do you understand? But so that was it for me. Do you understand? That was the reason. But I mean, if that in turn was giving off the wrong impression, then I might as well go back to being my normal self. So that's what that helped me with. Reinventing myself helped me to be myself. to just want to be more of myself and more of my natural self, to be honest. Do you understand? So I hardly ever, do you understand? Don't get me wrong. If you want to be extra, whatever makes you happy. This is what makes me happy, so I just wanted to be more of myself. So what happens is, owning up to certain situations helps you reinvent yourself. That's actually, I believe, the first step to changing things around, to changing your life around, to reinventing yourself. Once you're able to own up to your mistakes, yes, you do stand the risk of shame, you do stand the risk of rejection, you do stand the risk of loss, you do stand the risk of whatever it is. But if you're able to get through that situation, what would happen is, highly likely, you will most likely never want to go back to it again, because you don't want that sort of situation to repeat itself. Do have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful week. I love you all. Namaste. Stay blessed. Bye.